The title and cover of your novel, the way your movie poster looks, does that matter? Yes and no. Good images will help sell initially, but what helps sell long-term, and that's what you want to be interested in. You want to be interested in the long-term. What sells at long-term is it just being a good story. If you look at the cover of Catcher in the Rye, it's a very boring cover. Chronicles of Narnia, not a great cover. 1984, not a great cover. Game of Thrones, not a great cover. Does the title and cover help? Yes. Does it revolutionize? No. What revolutionizes is it a good story? And the people that tell you, no, it matters, I guarantee you those are the people that are going to try to sell you their services. I don't want to spend too much time on sales numbers because I think that these numbers are outdated. I think the numbers are different now. But if you self-publish your novel and it sells 500 copies in a lifetime, it's average. If it sells 10,000 copies in a lifetime, it's considered a bestseller. Those numbers have probably changed, but they're probably not going to change that much. So just keep that in mind as you're selling your work yourself. You can overthink the title and the cover of your book to such a degree to where you don't push forward. All I do is I take a few titles, I take a few book covers that I like, I send them to friends and family, I let them vote. Which one do you like better? They respond, I tally the votes, and the one that won the most votes, that's the one that I use. I don't overthink it, I don't over-romanticize it. The story is there, here's the cover, let's push forward. I got other things to do. You'll hear stories, well, I bought my book back from the publisher, and I changed the title and I changed the book image, and man, it sold like hotcakes. I bet you they got out and they pushed the story more now that they had these changes. I bet they were doing that more than they were pushing it when the book was still owned by the publisher. I guarantee you. If I'm gonna buy my novel back from a publisher because I don't like the way they're doing things, and I'm gonna redesign the cover and I'm gonna change the name of the book, and then I go out there and I start selling it myself and it sells like hotcakes, it was me. Because the publisher wasn't selling it, I sold it, it was me. It wasn't because suddenly there was a magical title now or a magical book cover. It doesn't work like that. You think it does if you don't have the experience, but once you experience, you realize it doesn't work like that. You'll hear coaches and writing instructors say things like, make sure that a certain word is in the title that's common to that genre. Like in trashy romance novels, you'll see the word Duke. Don't do that. That's not true. If writing trashy romance novels is your thing, do you really want to write one and call it Duke as if that word hasn't already been used 100 million times? Be original, be authentic, use something that no one else has done. Nicholas Sparks' book, 2 by 2, that does not scream romance from the male perspective. It doesn't. I don't know what it screams. And the cover image was a guy from his kneecaps down dancing with his daughter that was wearing fairy wings. It wasn't 2 middle-aged couples hugging on each other in front of a fire on the beach. So when I hear a writing instructor or coach say things like that, I just think that they're trying to find new material that nobody else is talking about or new material that they've never talked about before. You see it in other worlds. Think about when the word Yahoo first came out, the word Google. That doesn't scream sophisticated IT companies to me. It might to you, but it doesn't to me. Now, I will talk about an author that always has these great titles, and I'm always impressed by how great her titles are. Emily Giffin. Listen to some of these. Love the One You're With. That's a good one. Jeannie Hand titles. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. That's really good. A lot of girls are going to pick that up and thumb through it. But if the story isn't good, it'll sell a few copies in the beginning, and then it's just going to be forgotten. So don't get hung up too much on the marketing. You focus on telling a good story. That's your job. And that's what's going to sustain you long term.